So some ascension symptoms that we can expect for the week. First and foremost, we have to just really focus on the fact that the stars of this week, the main roles, belong to mostly Mercury and Venus. Yes, the moon is always in play. The moon is the fastest, most rapid cycling luminary out there. That's why it's so important to follow the moon, because the moon is what takes us through our moods, through our cycles, through our phases, through our experiences. So yes, the moon is going to provide us with a little bit of emotional processing that will have our digestive systems a little bit more active in a good way. They're not going to be crampy and tremoring and spasming like they were last week, but we're definitely going to see an accelerated processing rate in our digestive systems. Maybe our meals are moving faster through us than we would like, but that is because everything is amping up. Again, May is a very pivotal month for change. We are kind of speeding up the process here. But most of the ascension symptoms that we are going to experience this week is very due to Mercury and Venus kind of being the stars of the show. Mercury, of course, moving into its place of power in Gemini is really going to do wonders for our mental plane, but we might be feeling a lot of pressure, a lot of twitching, a lot of ear ringing, a lot of popping sounds going on in our head. And a lot of that is just because our minds are wide open. We are picking up on all the smaller details of our environments, of the subtle universe. We are shifting perspectives, which likely are going to provide twitching in the eyes, especially in the left side. And we are definitely going to be feeling, I don't want to call it a headache, but it's almost like you're going to rub your head and wonder if you hit your head off a shelf or something like that. And that is, of course, the new information, the new light codes, the new downloads coming in from the cosmos, really, really being felt in the physical body, in the physical realm, in the head. Definitely pressure in the head. Now, where Venus is concerned, that is very much our heart space. That is our heart chakra. And what I will say to you is, if we can think back to the full moon in Scorpio last week, where it was trying to align the mind, body, and soul, this week is kind of where we process the information and the emotions within us to make sure that our heart and our head are in agreement. And there's a reason for that. We have some major shifts taking place in May. Again, I know I sound like a nag right here, but this is why I create this content, for you guys to go and listen to all of the energy forecasts for May, and why I create the zodiac monthly forecast so that you can, as a Taurus or as a Libra or as a Leo, kind of tap in and see where these effects are going to be loud and clear in your life. And so this week is about our heart and our head getting on the same page, preparing us for a grounding point, because halfway through May, we switch into Gemini season. We have Jupiter moving into a new sign. We have Venus moving into a new sign, Mercury moving into a new sign. We have Saturn going retrograde, Mercury going retrograde, and the cherry on the Sunday is the full moon, total lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. And that is what this particular period, this week, is preparing us for, is purging, cleaning the slate, getting rid of the little fragments in our mental plane, in our heart space, so that they can align, they can agree with one another, they can get on the same page, so that when we start moving through all of this intense energy, at least we have a grounding point to actually make decisions from and to make decisions off of. Ascension symptoms also, Uranus still a key player here this week. And Uranian energy creates restlessness, creates anxiety. It affects our central nervous system. So we are going to continue to feel little buzzing, little vibrating tremors throughout our body. That again is the physical body aligning, making space for the new light codes being activated in our DNA. I know that sounds like a wild concept, but we literally are just information and energy conduits. Our blood carries the messages in our DNA, in our genome, that need to be activated in order to ascend. And so that's why we get a lot of the quivering, a lot of the vibrating, a lot of the buzzing inside of our bodies, because that Uranian energy is trying to zap out the old codes, break up the old kind of, stagnant energy and get things moving again so that we can absorb the new information and the new light codes. Other than that, I'm going to say and I don't even want to blame a planet for this, but it's almost, especially under the 5-5 energy where, the portals are kind of opening up. We are preparing for this eclipse energy. I feel like we are going to be feeling like we can't take a full breath of air. And a lot of that is due to the fact that we are going through a purge scenario right now where we are almost being like washed over with magical energy, kind of paying attention to each different chakra, cleaning out the fragmented energy that we're holding on to, the residue that we're holding on to. And so it's almost like we're getting a good spray down in each one of our chakras. And so that means that we're going to be, especially where the solar plexus is concerned, which is right under your ribs, affecting, the way that we feel like we either can't take a deep breath or we, need to take a deep breath. There's almost like there's this feeling of needing to have that full breath in so that we can, exhale and have a full sigh of relief, but we're just not going to be able to fulfill that. And a lot of that is because the solar plexus, very close to the heart chakra, but the solar plexus is being fine-tuned so that we can align in our heart chakra and in our mental plane with our third eye, with our throat chakras as well, communicating so that we can get all on the same page again. But it is going to take a little bit of time in order to get there. And I just feel like, outside of all the ascension symptoms that I just rattled off, very connected to astrological events, there's just going to be this feeling where you need to take a deep breath and you can't get it. And that's okay. I don't want you to worry about that too much. I know it's going to be a little bit, frustrating, a little bit agitating, because I know I am always looking to have that relief from getting a deep breath in and, of course, exhaling it all out. But we're probably not going to feel totally fulfilled in that particular area until next week. So with all that being said, we definitely want to pay attention to the ascension symptoms. There's a lot that you can do in order to lessen these ascension symptoms, which is, salt baths, connecting with nature, doing grounding practices, breath work, candle work, using essential oils. Like, there are so many things out there that we can do to lessen the oomph of these ascension symptoms, because again, this is a divinely scripted process that humanity has to go through in order for us to reach the new earth and the new age of Aquarius.